Tata jean they wear, all these unkept looks, all those things are actually banned, and it's not good. We also force attention of them, and then of course that the dean of the faculty, sorry, the dean of student affairs and principal officers of the university have been given the marching order to ensure strict compliance. And also remember, it didn't today. If during the time of Professor Joseph Jenka, the seventh vice chancellor of the university, this policy was also reenacted. When Professor Lale was the VC of the university too, it was also reenacted. And this time around, the vice chancellor has also taken the bull by the horn to ensure that he sustained this legacy, because we train great minds. So it's very important. For example, short and skimpy dresses are not allowed. All these body hugs, show me your belly or chest, and all this will cause spaghetti that will show their part. And of course, all those things that exposes those sensitive parts are not allowed. To be very honest. And then tight shorts and skirts that are above the knees, except for sporting purposes, are not allowed. All those Tata jean and jean with holes all over. No, we don't allow that. The University of Port Harcourt, transparent and see-through dresses. We don't allow that at the university. Just look at tight-fitting clothing like jeans, skirt, hipster, patra, hot pants, and all those things that reveals the color of the body. We don't allow that. And when you also look at it, we don't allow that. Such a singlet that is worn publicly, is supposed to be under. We don't allow that. And then unkept appearances, bushy hairs and beards. We don't allow that. What we do is that we train them to be responsible citizens. Because if you're going for an interview and you look so tata, they will tell you that no, we don't want you. Sometimes you even appear like a mad person. Meanwhile, you are sane human beings. So it's not very okay. And then dressing that, make it impossible to wear laboratory coats during practicals, is not also allowed to. These are all the things that we are talking about. For example, wearing a t-shirt with obscene captions, those things are not good. We don't allow that. They shirt without buttons or properly buttoned and leaving the, wearer looking somehow. We don't allow. It's part of the code of conduct and is everywhere on the university. Andrew, after your shift, you can come into the university. I will take you around. I will show you. They are all there. But there are some students who deliberately, refuse to conform to the norms and standards of the university.
All right, Mr. Kpenu.
And that is why we're going to wear the big hammer on them. Yes.
All right. We have a very short commercial now. When we return, one more thing you would like you to clarify for us. Many are asking what sort of punishment is suitable for indecent dressing in tertiary institutions. Does the University of Port Harcourt have a punishment? Because we heard the VC talking about dismissing that girl. I think perhaps that did not happen. So you tell us what would be the consequence if anyone defaults. For those who are listening, you can share with us on Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. What punishment would you say is suitable for indecent dressing in tertiary institutions? Let us know your thoughts on Facebook and on Twitter. On Facebook, Nigeria Info.
The show continues after this break.
Sam Kpenu will be speaking with us via phone. Mr. Sam, thank you. Hello, Mr. Sam. Thank you for staying on the line for us. Thank you very much. Quickly to our listener, remember that you can join in on the conversation on Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, on Twitter, Nigeria Info PH. You can also send in your thoughts to us using the WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. 0809 030 6416 is the WhatsApp number. We're asking you to share your own opinion on this. What punishment would you say is suitable for indecent dressing in tertiary institutions? This brings us to my next question for Mr. Kpenu. Quickly, does the University of Port Harcourt have any sort of punishment on ground for students who default with regards to the dress code?
All right, thank you very much. I'm actually Dr. Kpenu.
Oh, Dr. Kpenu. Apologies, Doc. So, yes, talk to us.
No problem. Thank you. At the University of Port Harcourt, it is a place of minds. It is a place where we do things according to the excellent rules of the University of Port Harcourt. So, for a first-time offender, after sensitization, informing them, for the first-time offender, the person will be made to appear before the Dress Code Implementation Committee. And when she or he appears, what they do there is counseling. We counsel them. We make them understand why it is important for them to dress decently. Then after that, if the same person continues without, heeding to the instruction of the university, now the person might be out of the classroom or the laboratory or from workshop or lecture theater, just like that. After we have counseled you, if you refuse to heed to that instruction, then you enter the class, they will send you out for dressing improperly. And then, if it continues like that, we are very patient at the university, so that even heaven, we understand that we are, we are fair and just. Now, for a third-time offender, the person will now appear before the student disciplinary committee of the university. And then the committee will now look at the way and the weight and the manner. And then at the end of the day, they can now take a decisive action.
There are people who argue that, this sort of constraints would be infringing on the rights of people who should have free will to dress how they want and express themselves in what they wear and what they choose to wear. How does the university respond to that?
Okay, I want to say something very important. The University of Port Harcourt is a final destination for the best brains. It's not an advert, but you know that we are the fourth best university in Nigeria. So what we do at the university is to make sure that any product from the university is judged as one of the best. So what we do is that, there are some departments, there are some faculties that, now have the dress code. For example, law, they have their dress code. If you go to the Department of Linguistics and Communication Studies, they have their blue top and then navy blue down. And then
you go to pharmacy,
they also have their
Sorry to interrupt you. You just pointed out the dress code for Linguistics and Communication Studies. The young woman is from that department. So why wasn't she dressed in that fashion?
That is what I'm actually talking about. We do that. And these are some of the things we do to curb indecent dressing. I know the Department of Linguistics has a dress code, but let me also inform you that some of these departments, they, for example, they don't work it every day. They can say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's interval. Some want to be free as anything in this world. And if you go to law, they are dressing properly. If you go to management sciences, you have marketing, you have management, you have them over there. When you go to pharmacy, you go to other faculties, they have this special dress code. And these are aimed at ensuring that the student look very, very beautiful, pretty, and good. So these are all the effort that we have also put in internally to make sure that, we avoid these incidences of indecent dressing.
So to be clear, again, for those people who live off campus and don't reside in the campus, this applies to as long as you are in any of the campuses of the University of Port Harcourt, you are to dress in a manner that fits the code of dressing for the institution. And it does not apply to anybody who is outside or within the environs of the university. So if there are students
All
within
right.
the environs of the university, does this dress code also apply to them? Or is it
All
only
right.
when you are in any of the campuses?
Okay, there was something I said before, which is very good. You know, when you are studying, when we are training you, we are not just training you in, learning community service. We are also training you in character. And when we instill these ideals into our students as they leave the university, it becomes part of their life. It becomes part of their culture, and that is what we're actually doing at the university. Except a human being who refuses to change, then that person is not supposed to be in the university, because that degree that you're going to earn is in learning and in character. So what we do is that we have 3 campuses. We have Choba campus, we have Delta, we also have Abuja campus. So we make it. We surely know that you are a student of the University of Port Harcourt. It's really very, very important for both males and females. And so what we are doing, we are not using force. We are appealing to them. We are talking to them. And that why when the Vice Chancellor saw that lady that day, initially she was recalcitrant. If you look at the video from the beginning, she was recalcitrant. Even when she was asked to stand, she was trying to like, what's wrong with this dressing? What's wrong with this dressing? When it was obviously bad. So when it discovered that, it was the Vice Chancellor that was talking with me, she now felt, very remorseful. So, and she went home and changed into a very long gown, and she looks like an angel from the moon. If you look at the Facebook page or on Twitter, anywhere, you're going to see that. So it's really very important that the students should conform. But what we're doing at the university is to train them to be responsible citizens. And when they go out into the world, the life society, and you are asked, where did you graduate from? You say the unique University of Port Harcourt. Is indeed very gratifying.
Beyond dressing, I'll take a cue from the NDU in Bayelsa State, the Niger Delta University. I know that they also have a policy that restricts use of cars, students driving luxurious cars and vehicles. I think they even had provisions for bicycles if you're coming into the school, unless maybe you have a driver who's coming to drop you off, and then that's it. Beyond dressing, is the University of Port Harcourt also looking at how to instill some level of discipline within the campuses? Because we've seen reports of students who drive big cars and act. Especially, this has a lot to do with the guys in the campuses. How is the school looking at that?
All right, thank you very much. Like I told you, UNIPORT is not a new school, it's an old school. And we have put everything in place to make sure that the students are comfortable. For example, we have a unit called transport unit. This unit, has personnel, and they go around the campus to make sure that you maintain the speed limit. We make sure you don't drive recklessly on campus. We make sure that we educate you. We don't just pounce on you like those tout outside, because here is a citadel of learning. So those machineries are all in place to make sure that nothing extraordinary by way of, driving recklessly and things like that into the campus. Then another thing is that a student is allowed to have a car, and if you have that car, you should dress decently. You also drive, very well. It is not an express road where you just be driving just anyhow as if you're going from I-3 to the other axis. We have all those things in play. We have those specs, and we also have a bump speed over there. But we don't ban cars. We don't ban, except the cars that we know are suspicious in nature. We can call it to order and say, what is this? What are you doing here? So we make sure that everything is in order. So we don't really have a policy about that. You should don't come in with this car and come with this other car. Don't come. No, we just allow anything that is decent, anything that will not infringe on the rights of the student and also affect the institution. We allow that. We are not so restrictive like that. It's a place where you're supposed to come in, and when you come in, you interact, you learn from people, your colleagues, from the staff, and everybody around you. These are all the things we do. But I also want to assure that as time progresses, the management, you look at the situation and then come up with policies that will address anything that might occur or shall occur in future.
All right, quickly, let's just take responses from some of our listeners. Perhaps they have questions they might want you to respond to before we let you go. We'll open the phone lines now, and we're asking you to tell us what you think the punishment should be for indecent dressing in tertiary institutions. How can this be handled? How can we resolve it? You've heard from the spokesperson for the University of Port Harcourt, Dr. Kpenu, highlighting some of the ways in which the school is trying to tackle the problem and how it's also trying to discipline people who default on the dress code for the University of Port Harcourt. What's your thought about it? Let's know. 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0007, and then 0817-923-0003 are the numbers that you can call. Quickly, let's get on to mile 3. Good news, please, straight to the point. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, good news. Go ahead.
Dr. Agretu. First of all, I'm an alumni of the University of Port Harcourt. And my faculty, the professor, who now happened to be one of my lecturers, where is the College of Medicine and Health Science, Basic Medical Science. I think that man had an exceptional character, a distinguished character. John the way he treats students, the way he talks to you, he will make you understand the reason what you are doing, that it is bad or good. If it is good, he gives you lots of encouragement. If it's bad, he don't just punish you, but he talks to you. He may get angry initially, but you will see that fatherly like in him. For that student and the way the students should be treated, I think there should be a law from the Senate or the university to deal decisively on such acts to respect. Even if we have some stringent laws, I don't see Professor Unari going so extreme to deal with students the way. He may get angry, spoke them and talk on the children, but he will not allow the university to hit the law very hard on them, because his major aim in the university is to make sure that he grooms students. That's the way I know him. And for generally, I think I've watched him come down from his car, move around, interact with students. In fact, it's exceptional. My name is Good News.
All right, JJ from Rumigbo, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, go on, JJ.
Good morning to Dr. Sam. For me, the way I think they should handle this, for first-time offenders, it should be warning. Second-time offenders, it should be suspension. And if you do it again, total expulsion. Even in the church where the Bible says, come the way you are, if you go to so many of the Orthodox churches right now, they have code of dressing. They hang it on the gate there so that even the blind can see it. We can't continue this way now. It's not a nude, the university is not a nude club where people just come half naked and they can't allow people from the poor home breathe. No, now. So for me, there must be serious action taken to ask to people who are bent on doing this whole thing. I think the professor has done very well. The university is doing very well. So thank you very much.
All right, Chris in Rumogba. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm actually very happy and thankful to UNIPORT for introducing these measures. We're not saying that it may not be abused by certain persons, but it is a good step in the right direction, and it will help our... See, I sent a daughter to UNIPORT. She didn't graduate. I remember we going to church one day, and as we get out of the gate, I said, hey, get down from this car, go back and change. She was coming from UNIPORT. So most times people are very unhappy when they see UNIPORT graduates. It's a very terrible thing. She didn't graduate till today. So what am I saying? Those introducing these things will help us parents to know that we're sending our children in the hands of responsible lecturers and school authorities, so that we are not wasting our resources. So it's a good one. If any child, any man or any student refuses to dress well, first caution. In fact, those measures they put are too long. They are too lengthy. The first caution, second caution, send the person out of the school, because before you came in, you signed an undertaking to be to dress in a particular manner as the school wanted. If you didn't want it, you should have gone to another school. So these rules are there already. Obey it. If you don't want to obey it, you leave this institution. That's the way it's supposed to be.
All right,
Thank
Chris.
you very much.
Thank you. Alozie is in Omuma. Good morning, Alozie.
Good morning. Good morning, Sammy.
All right, go on.
Sammy, there is this age saying that before any school will graduate any student, they will say they are find you worthy in character, learning, and moral. And you also agree with me that dressing code is something that every student should emulate. And I love what Professor Baswe did. You know, when you go to UNIPORT, at the interest of the entire campus, it is boldly written, indecent dressing is highly prohibited. And you see some students, most of them will dress half naked. Some will pierce their nose, pierce their tongue, pierce everywhere in their body. Yet they are students. They will go and sit down in the class to learn. So what morals is the school, high institution, instilling in these students? I think pardoning will not solve this issue. What I would suggest, the school should make it publicly that if you are caught dressing indecently, that student should be expelled so that it will curtail the rate of indecent dressing in our high institutions. If you are putting on indecent dressing, even your subconscious mind will tell you that this thing I'm putting on is not okay. A student will dress up to go in an environment where you learn. You will see them dressed as in, I don't even know how I would use to quantify it. So it's wrong. We should condemn it and we should not support it in any guise.
All right, thank you very much. We'll listen to Odima Nelson now. Okay. Nelson in Choba. We'll take one more call after Nelson. Hello, Nelson from Choba. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Go on.
Yes, I have a question for your guest. And sorry, also, good morning to your guest. Yes, and the indecent dressing of a thing, is it only for the female student or also the male student? Because when you check the male student, because I do business around that premises, you see male students putting on earrings, piercing their nose, their mouth, everywhere, and you see the type of hair they make to school, the way they dress. So is it for only the female or also to the male? Because when you enter from that Choba campus, from the Delta campus, the dressing code is only placed for the girls. Then as for the boys, you see copies in something. Yes. So I want to ask your guest, is it only for the female or also for the male? Thank you.
All right, Nelson, thank you. I think he answered this before, but I'll let him answer it again. And just to add, Dr. Kpenu, I don't know if you can hear us. Just to add to what he said, we see situations where we have male students begin to color their fingernails. It's something that I've noticed. You see boys coloring their fingernails black, purple, and all of these before, and then sagging their trousers. Some don't even need belts, don't wear belts anymore. All sorts that you can see, dyeing their hairs different colors. I don't know if all of these things are things that the institution also looks at to be indecent. What's your response?
Yes, all these measures are actually in place. We have mentioned all these, and when you look at them, is applicable to the boys equally. For example, you share with obscene captions that are not allowed, and they share with that button, don't wear it with that button. You know, as easy as that. We don't allow that in the university, and they wear no earring by male students. Those part of it, you can see me reading it, and of course, plating or wearing of hair by male students, all those kind of things.
Dr. Kpenu, you might have to. I think we're having that radio interference or something again, so it's not very smooth. The connection. So you were highlighting some of the things that you said the male students, if you can go on.
Yes, we don't allow, some people are so different in such a way that sleep has to classroom. No, we don't do that. Except someone who has a medical condition that can wear proper footwear. And they wear color eyeglasses in the classroom. Those big eyeglasses. No, we don't have except program. So these are all the things we put in place, and when you start, and you now see the boxers, that. It's a place to train so all the things are actually.
Mr. Kpenu, I must say it's quite difficult. I don't know if you're using a earpiece or a headphone, but it's at the moment it's difficult to hear most of the things that you outlined. I know you talked about the color of hair, a few other things, but then it wasn't really smooth. So we'll just have to plead with you to repeat them so people who are listening can have a clear understanding, an idea of what these things are.
Okay, thank you very much. A call came in and interfered. That was why.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. So I said that in the university we have this dress code. If you wear short and skimpy dresses, body hug, show me your chest, spaghetti wear that exposes parts of your body, we don't allow that. And then tight shorts and skirts, we call it bomb dots above the knee. We don't allow that at the university, except for sporting purposes. And then jean, no, we don't allow that at the university. And talk about transparent and see-through dresses. Are you there?
Yes. You highlighted most of these earlier students. We have male students who perhaps plait their hair, or they color their fingers and sag their trousers. Some wear slippers to class. It's just a lot of these little things we wanted to be clear on. Piercing of the nose, eyebrows, and all of those. Are these things that are also included as indecent?
Yes, they are all included. For example, unkept appearances such as bushy hairs and beards. We don't allow that. And then, there are some young boys that we just wear one inner singlet into the university. We don't allow that because it's supposed to be inner singlet. And then we also talk about, wearing t-shirt with obscene language and all those things. We don't allow that. Even when you open up your shirt, that is, you're supposed to button properly. We don't allow that. Wearing of earrings, painting of your nails and all those things, and piercing your nose and all those things. We don't allow that because we want it to look very responsible. All these things, all these measures are actually in place. All these measures are actually in place.
All right, Mr. Kpenu, thank you very much. Time will not allow us. Let's allow you, because we have a commercial coming shortly. But thank you for making out time to share this with us this morning.
Thank you very much. Thanks, listeners.
All right, that was Dr. Kpenu, the spokesperson for the University of Port Harcourt. We know that we still have quite a number of messages to respond to on Facebook and on Twitter. I already took some on WhatsApp. Let's see on Facebook. Ukeje Obamadu says, for a VC, I think his approach was harsh. And in fact, I thought it was a case of people fighting. The noise and uproar was like a motor park incident, what was not supposed to be. I think we heard the PRO trying to explain why it turned out that way. He said if you see the full video, when he first approached the girl, and he said the response came that way based on how the girl was acting from the earlier part of the video, where perhaps we didn't have that on the clip that circulated online. But he said there was first a conversation and she was being recalcitrant, and that was what led to what we saw eventually at the video. Brown Samuel says, good morning, please. I really love the school authorities to take this issue very serious, because a lot of these students really lack home training and manners. Uche Unwangboso on Facebook says there should be heavy punishment for indecent dress in schools. This will make them sit up in their academic activities. Felix says, I give kudos to the VC. The indecent dressing brings a lot of confusion in school setting. Okay. We also will take some of the messages on Twitter now, and let's see. This one says, okay, that's not for us. This one says, good morning. It's high time. No. Good morning. Dressing should be based on CGPA. Only 5 and above CGPA will dress the way they want, knowing that no student with such intelligence will want to go naked. Jerry sent in that one. Will I completely agree with that? I don't know. We'll wrap things up here. Thank you for your time. Hello Port Harcourt is next. Stay tuned for Jude. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. Good morning.
You are tuned in.